all of us, are, regardless of whether we think we are or we are not, we are in an asset management journey.
Hello, Maura Abad here, Asset Management Visionaries Shaping Tomorrow. Today we have a super guest, Kent Vian. I am so honored to have you in the show. Kent, how are you doing today?
I'm doing fantastic. I'm having a fantastic time with all the things we're working on and all the things we're doing, the things that we're learning to expand on and explore new possibilities in asset management and implementing new things on a daily basis.
And that's so important. You know, I want to tell you, when I think about asset management in our community, you are one of the people that I do think about, and we will explore that later. But tell the world, who is Kent Vian?
Well, I started my reliability journey about 25 years ago. We had some things happen in an agency that I worked with at that time. It was the city of San Diego, where we had to get in line with what the regulators wanted us to do to try to make our system more efficient and better. So we started to implement a plan where we would maintain our system in a comprehensive manner to make it better and safer for the community and to provide better water quality management of conveying wastewater for the city of San Diego.
That's amazing. And tell us about the journey on the pathway of your career, because a lot of people are thinking, I want to get into asset management. What would you tell the people that are listening to you right now?
I think if you want to get into asset management, you need to learn about the things, the core values of what asset management is. You need to know what you own. You need to know how to maintain what you own. You need to look at your long-term vision of what you're going to do with what you own, and how can you make it so it'll be reliable and offer the service and the performance that you want it to provide for the community and your stakeholders within the area you work in.
And that is so great to hear, because at the end of it all, asset management is a conversation. And for you, I want to ask you two questions. What is asset management, and how do you lead your teams into asset management?
Asset management is knowing what you have, taking care of what you have, and when you're leading your teams into asset management, you want to ensure that they know that you have a clear understanding of what your aim is or where your goals are, where you want to be and where you want to arrive in the future. And then you empower them by being able to educate them and train them and give them the tools that they need to be successful, and allow them to have a voice in how you work in your asset management realm and in your asset management world, so that you can be successful in performing good asset management.
That's so great. And tell us a little bit about the team into asset management, especially with Uptime Elements. In what way you have been navigating the system?
Well, with Uptime Elements and the way we've been navigating the system, one of the things I did when I worked with Clark County Water Reclamation District is we took ISO 55000 and we took the Uptime Elements and we showed how those Uptime Elements related to the different principles of ISO 55000 and how you could leverage those to be able to meet the 10 tenets of ISO 55000 of effective leadership, effective management of your stuff, capital replacement, and how all those things factor in to be able to really delve into what would be good for the organization utilizing the two concepts of ISO 55000 and the Uptime Element.
That's a great point. Resources-wise, what has been really pivotal role for you to review in navigating the terrain in asset management?
The resources that we use to navigate that terrain in asset management is the Uptime Elements. One of those things, because a lot of those are so beneficial in effective work execution management, to be able to look at your lubrication, to be able to look at your vibration and know how to handle those different elements and leverage those elements so that you get the best performance you can out of your individual pieces of equipment.
And with Uptime Elements, we have the 5 knowledge domains: reliability engineering for maintenance, asset condition management, work execution, leadership for reliability, and asset management. On the 5 of them, would you say your organization is diving at the same time in the 5 of them, or mainly into asset management?
Well, we're diving into some of the different elements. One of the ones we're focusing on is engineering for reliability. Right now, we're getting ready to do some major capital improvements to some of our processes that have been in place for 60 years, and they've never had a major overhaul or revamp of those. And taking a team that's new to me, because I've only been back with the city of San Diego for 2.5 years, and showing them the importance of a reliability-centered design, and that you design for reliability so that when you are able to turn that over and actually commission it and have it going, you have the opportunity for reliability, because you cannot maintain a piece of equipment into reliability. Reliability has to be there from the very beginning.
That's right, from the business need and design phase, basically. What advice would you give the audience related to how to engage their teams and make them excited about asset management? Because it is okay to be excited about asset management.
Well, one of the things that's really helped me with engaging my teams and getting them excited is bringing them to events that Reliability Web puts on, such as the Reliability Conference, such as IMC. And then even this year, we're looking at an upgrade and changes into our CMMS, our EAM system. And so I'm going to see about getting people engaged and incorporating them into going to the Attend Maximal world, just to get some different views and concepts on what's out there that we can leverage to make our maintenance and asset management journey even better.
And you mentioned the CMMS. Tell us what you have been doing inside your organization. I understand that you are a leader, a key player into the CMMS.
I was the CMMS manager for Clark County Water Reclamation District. We had the opportunity to go through several upgrades of the CMMS, implementing the spatial portion of the Maximo, and putting in there criticalities and be able to manage our assets through that criticality process. With City of San Diego, it's a new journey there that we've started there, and we've gone through and we started looking at our risk factors and our probability and potentials for failures on some of our equipment and assets, and then moving those into an optimized maintenance scenario to ensure a high quality delivery of the service that we provide for the city of San Diego.
That's so amazing. And in your role, you have been dealing with proactive and preventive maintenance. Any words of wisdom to the audience on that journey?
Proactive and predictive maintenance are vital to what you do to ensure long-term sustainability and reliability. With the being in the water triangle water quality sector, it's very important that we have a high level of service and very beneficial delivery, especially in the part of the water sector I am, which is wastewater, which is one of the unsung heroes, really, of the water cycle, because people go to turn the water on to brush their teeth, take a shower, use the other parts of wash their clothes. They want the water there to be there and be available when they turn it on. Well, I'm the unseen part of it, because I take all that water away from you and make sure it's safely collected, conveyed, and treated so it can be reused later. And through that process of wastewater collection, we ensure the health, safety, and welfare for not only people in the United States, but this is a thing that's worldwide and important worldwide globally to ensure the health and safety of humans all over the world.
And that's it. Thank you for everything you do and your corporation. Water is life. I do have the intrigue from so many industries. You chose water. Why water?
I chose water because, like I said, it's something all humans need. It's a resource that none of us can live without. We all have to have it. We have to have a safe, secure supply of water. When I worked for Clark County Water Reclamation District, which was in Las Vegas, Nevada, our focus was to ensure that we delivered safely treated and cleaned water back to Lake Mead, which is a major drinking water source for the whole Pacific Southwest. And we're talking tens of millions of people. For the city of San Diego, we want to ensure that we effectively collect, convey, and treat wastewater so that people can enjoy the pleasures of visiting the beach and having that entertainment value of being able to harvest food from the ocean and make sure that that's sustainable. And we want to ensure that we effectively can collect and convey that water to protect the lifestyle of every human that we can.
That is fascinating. Thank you for that explanation. At the end of it all, it's all about facts, and data does matter. Tell us about your advice for companies on data management.
Data management is very important in that you need to ensure that you periodically QA, QC your data to make sure you're getting the right data when you need it and getting the proper data. You might look through your data that you're collecting and you have missing data points. And if you're missing data points, you need to find a way to collect those data points to make your system effective. And then if you also, on the obverse is true, whereas if you're finding data that you're not going to use or it's just not beneficial data, then don't go through the effort and the energy to try to have your people collect that data because you're never going to use it and it's a non-value added task. Make sure the data you have is a benefit to what you're wanting to do, of making decisions of what am I going to do to maintain it? What am I going to do to replace it? What do I need? By collecting data, do I have enough resources, as in people, to actually be able to perform the work and deliver the level of service that I want to deliver to the community I work for.
And that is so important because we don't have unlimited time or unlimited money, unlimited resources. You must focus on what matters most. And that mainly comes from the aim of the organization, collecting that information that is going to assist us, support us to advance at the end with the objectives of the company. Nothing else added. Would you say that?
Nothing else added. I would say that is exactly precisely true, Maura.
Tell us about the journey on digitalization. I know we're seeing a lot of changes so rapidly and drastically. What is your advice for companies on digitalization? What is your point of view with the new technologies coming out?
Well, with the new technologies coming out, especially with what we've been discussing and looking at lately, is the utilization of artificial intelligence for AI. I look at the broad benefits that I can have in the service I provide, in that at one time I used to collect data and it was only two-dimensional data. Whereas I look at the opportunity for AI, and now I have 3, 4, 5-dimensional ways to collect data and analyze data to make proper maintenance decisions to ensure proper delivery of and level of service of the business that I'm in.
Making decisions from a position of knowledge.
Yes.
That's basically. Now, we are going to be closing this interview for now because we have so much to talk about that I want to already invite you for a second part at some point if you're interested.
Okay.
Yes, call to action for people that perhaps are doubting a little bit still, well, asset management, maybe not yet. What would you tell the companies that are not yet in an asset management journey?
Well, I think all of us, regardless of whether we think we are or we are not, we are in an asset management journey. And you need to just take the little steps and pick out one thing that you want to focus on. Because like the blind people touching the elephant, not knowing what it is, you have to eat the elephant in small little bites and implement slowly. You can't go and just dive head in and be all in all at once, because you're going to fail if you try to do that. You need to find one thing, what's one area that I can improve in, and make that a benefit. And then once I've accomplished that, I can pick something else for a benefit. For example, one of the things we're working on right now, City of San Diego, is I've challenged my team, let's identify things that we can apply defect elimination to. Just find one thing, and in this next 6 months, we're going to take this one major item that is causing us pain and suffering as far as maintenance time, downtime, and everything else. What can we do to not just repair it, but to fix it and make it a permanent solution so that we no longer have to worry about taking care of that defect anymore?
Definitely, and let's amplify a little bit. You mentioned about the story of the elephant. I'm gonna tell the way I remember it, okay? So basically, it's a group of people and they are all blindfolded, or they might be blind, and there is an elephant, but they don't know there is an elephant. One person touches one area of the elephant and he or she might say, this is a wall. Another person might touch the tail and might say, this is a rope. Another person might touch the little trunk, right? And it's something else, like a hose. Right. And that is why context is so important.
Yes.
And communication is so important. That is also part of asset management, being aligned and being on the same page. And then also what I want to rescue and amplify with what you're saying is the portion of do one thing, even one thing at a time.
Yes.
Don't get overwhelmed with other activities. Focus again, your time, your energy, you see that improvement, and then keep going and reinforce it over and over again.
I strongly agree with you, Maura, in every way.
We are so honored to have you in Asset Management Visionaries Shaping Tomorrow. Stay tuned for more interviews, and we'll see you in the next episode. All the best.